Every day, we stray further and further away from God. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new death battle reaction. What's going on? Need a haircut. Badly. It's getting a little too crazy. Well, this is going to be a barn burner, isn't it? With the view count I got going. Okay. Guys, I'm probably just going to get started, if you don't mind. All right. All right, let's YouTube mode in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, I'm Spectral Star and welcome back to a new death battle reaction. It's Kyle Raynar versus Simon the Digger from Gurren Lagann and White Lantern. Let's get it. So, new death battle. Probably going to be pretty cool. Going to be an awesome bit of animation. From what I can tell already on this screen right here that I've got it paused on. Somebody hand draw this. I mean, it wasn't AI. If it was AI, then I don't know. Anyways, this is going to be a quick one, I think. I don't think it's 24 minutes, so it's not going to be that quick. But I don't know anything about White Lantern because, I don't know, I left DC a long time ago, and I literally only had Superman, The Flash, Batman, and Wonder Woman, really. Those are my go-tos. Don't really much watch DC or really Marvel that much anymore. But White Lantern, what's his name? Kyle Raynar? Kyle Raynar? Is it Raynar? Is he the same guy as Kyle Raynar, or are these two different guys? I don't know. Surely they're the same guy. Nonetheless, know a lot about Gurren Lagann. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was a really good anime, I thought. Simon's buddy, I can't remember names that well, but Simon's buddy would go around and he'd be like, "Who the hell do you think I am?" You know, I watched the dub version. I thought it was pretty badass. Really loved the sniper chick. She's probably my favorite character. I wonder why. You never know, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and watch this new death battle. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Kyle Raynar is all about. Kyle Raynar. I used to say manga, and I about did it again. I used to say manga. I pronounced it as manga. Genius level IQ here. Room temperature. Let's go. Oh, and another thing. I mean, it's a giant robot. Why is a man with a powerful ring that happens to be white? Did his Green Lantern get bleached?
Simon the Digger.
Simon.
Raynar, the White Lantern.
I call him Simon. I don't know why. I haven't said the name. I haven't heard the name in so long.
Infinity. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And
but yes, it is Simon.
Analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Deep
Lots of
underground,
unnecessary
Jiha
hats back
Village
here.
lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave.
2 seasons of
of
insanely good anime.
The young man who would lead his comrades into the
There she is,
sunlight at
Boobs
last,
Magoo.
Kamina, the great and mighty.
That's his
and
friend.
His little brother from another mother,
Who the hell do you
Simone.
think I am?
He was there too, I guess.
Simon was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the
I've seen
dirt,
so many people
until
with
the
those
day he
shades,
found the
just
core
cosplaying or
drill.
just having
The
those
key
shades
that
because they're,
activated the
they were cool.
mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagann. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the
The
limit.
sky is falling.
The
I'm Chicken
surface was
Little.
ruled by the cruel chimeric
Chicken
beast Beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity.
Nice teeth, robot.
Scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simon's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating Gurren Lagan.
With
Wow.
Kamina piloting the body and Simon the head,
the naming
these
convention
two
is
were
insane.
unstoppable.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its
Really?
pilot's willpower.
I mean,
and
it-
capable
it
of
is a pretty
making
wild
any
suit.
weapon they can imagine.
Pretty wild mech.
Including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course,
Classic.
Drills, wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku.
Giga Deal the
The
Breaker.
only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up?
with Gurren Lagan's awesome
Yeah.
power, Kamina laid waste to enemy
As if
forces,
you
liberated human
totally
villages,
didn't do
and
that.
fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord
I know,
Janelle.
that's the joke.
Until Kamina died. Oh, wait,
Yeah, that
shit,
sucked.
was that supposed to happen?
Nope,
Spoilers.
and it was all Simon's fault. He let his willpower
Damn.
waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. Damn.
Kamina was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was
Wow,
Simone
yeah.
who found Logon, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with his gal pal Nia.
It's
at
too
his
bad
side,
he had to
who
die
helped
for him to
pull
become
out of his
such
rut and kick
a
Lord
badass.
Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential.
Damn
what they
anti-spirals.
dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right.
The
laws of
gorilla,
physics
holy shit, send
run on
100 men.
chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents
What the-
endless obsession and madness,
Oh, yeah.
the spiral turned
Uzumaki.
outward spins forever into infinity,
Vegito.
the perfect
Ah, and that was,
representation of humanity's
was JoJo.
evolutionary potential.
Potential Simon would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the
Boobs.
fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets
So many hands,
crazy.
nowhere to put them.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simone can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions. He can generate
don't throw
force
hands
fields
with
to
that
absorb
thing.
energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or
Beyblades.
the Super Galaxy
space.
Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote,
The-
all time, space, and
Crotch
dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest
Okay.
unit of time physically possible.
Meaning
wow.
Each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
Jesus.
Oh, well.
How do
looks
you
like
even
this wins the
quantify?
award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Just throwing
Over,
numbers.
SpongeBob, you've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough
Literally.
to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth. An attack that imprisons Simon in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning
What?
Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically
I'm
infinite.
confused.
Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine
What?
a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon
Roger
absorbed the
Rabbit.
multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate
Cool,
universe version
cool
of
world.
himself, including an alternate universe Simone, who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann.
Right.
That author's spiral power made his fictional Simone real,
Oh,
adding
God.
another to the mix.
Wait, if every human
This
being
is like
has spiral
the
power,
JoJo
you're
character.
telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when
I call it
Gurren
Tengen
Lagann
Toppa
gets
'cause
actually
I'm redneck.
fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or
There's
tossing
800
galaxies around
names
like
added
frisbees.
to the
Sorry,
name.
did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simone's power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simone turns
You leave
his
me out of
thoughts
this.
into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated
Binary?
from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one more time.
Into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and
Something
for
tells
all.
me
Hey,
nobody can
cruel
beat this guy.
indifference of the universe. Meet the indomitable human spirit.
Proving Kamina's words prophetic, that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds
does he
left
just
to
rewrite
conquer,
reality?
Simone chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days in service to others.
Always looking up. For
That's
all
about the only
lights in
thing he
the
can
sky
do.
are stars,
What's up,
and every
Richard? How you
star
doing, brother?
Another world of spiral cousins that
Saber
can live
Comics.
free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
Yeah, and now he can practically rewrite his own
The universe
anatomy.
is a dangerous place. Should
Or
you
rebuild
find
it.
yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know
That's
who
a
to
mad
call.
looking
The
cat.
Green Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic
Space Fuzz.
police force founded billions of years ago
Space
by blue
pigs.
leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know him. You love him.
Is he really everybody's
You
favorite?
might hate him, but you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as hell.
You ready for a great
Until
episode?
the day his
Right?
will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery.
the hell?
The
Why?
literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor of
I did not know
Parallax's
this.
killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Raynar.
So, was Kyle
That's
picked
cool,
for his
Saber.
indomitable
Or Richard.
willpower like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no idea what was going
He's
on.
your,
Must feel good
he's your
being given
favorite.
the most dangerous magical weapon in
Well, I mean,
existence
isn't he a
to
bad guy
figure
now?
out on your own. Hey, if
Or
Colonel
was that
Sanders,
just
Daffy Duck, Space
a what
Wheat,
if
and a
thing?
sentient fox can master
What
it,
the
what's
hell is
your
that?
excuse,
Is that
Kyle?
Call of
The Green
Cthulhu
Lantern ring
shit?
can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires.
I can get
as though it
bigger,
were a genie
especially
from
where
a
it
planet.
counts.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate
Oh, that's not
matter,
good.
time travel, warp reality, and
I would
erase
not be
things from
trusted with
existence.
invisibility.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the
kidding.
time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space
Just a what
to
if?
increase
Okay.
the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time.
So they
and
just threw him
space,
under the bus
letting
for the
them
hell
fly
of it.
So fast they can create a speed force singularity.
Tapping into the speed force
Wow.
requires
Why did they
entering
do
a
that
higher
to-
dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable.
Why?
And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting
that really
its user
necessary?
from danger.
Like the time that Boozer Kilowog
Talk about that
survived
one time
being
he got
erased from
drunk and ate a
existence by
burger
the
on the
crisis
couch?
on Infinite Earth.
The
And
ring
everybody was like,
fueled by its users'
stop.
willpower
He just
and
wants a
limited
burger.
only
That's all he
by their
wanted.
Imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest
I'm making a reference to
willpower in the
David
Corps,
Hasselhoff, by the
Kyle's
way.
imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild
Flat.
shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable
That's
ability
my ass.
is their constructs. Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor,
Flat ass.
pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his
Actual
favorite,
working ones.
super fighting robots. Hey, that
Hey,
one looks
there we go.
familiar.
Kyle can make them
There we
stronger
go.
through
Now he's got a
the
reason to
spectrum,
fight him.
who
He
weighs
can
as
make a
much
robot
as
out of power
eternity.
Green
Or
Lanterns
back in
shit.
12.3 dimensional Big
Yeah, that
Bang.
makes sense.
Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions?
That's
That
a lot.
is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's limited
How
to
is that
24
stupid?
hours
I don't know
before
how many
recharge.
dimensions there actually
So
are.
it can blow up universes.
Isn't there infinite
but it
dimensions?
Has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self.
Kyle is actually a canon fan of Gurren Lagann.
When one of Kyle's
Smart
villains
man. It's a good
brutally
anime.
murdered his girlfriend,
It's good
Alex,
manga.
and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the
What?
only one traumatized. This moment was so infamous, it
Hold
started
on.
the trope called fridging.
A manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt.
Hold up.
Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the only one traumatized.
Jesus.
This moment was so infamous,
What
it
the
started
fuck,
the trope
DC?
called fridging.
For how female
Fridging?
characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it
Messed
might
up.
surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Kyle finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the
Serious.
Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of the emotional
The rainbow.
electromagnetic spectrum.
There
Oh.
are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate
yes,
the
yellow.
worst horrors in your
You
mind.
yellow-bellied.
The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red
Jesus.
is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope.
Sounds like
and
it.
allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered
What
it by
the f-
forgiving
that is not
himself
what
for
love
Alex's
is.
tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the
Should have called it
rainbow.
vanity.
Lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more
Okay.
useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life
Oh,
in the
yeah, I
DC
get it.
multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in existence.
Far stronger
He's got
than
all of
Hal,
them, doesn't he?
Who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse?
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life
Is he
strong enough
Jesus?
to go up against threts to all of creation.
They
like the
try to make him
Anti-Monitor.
Jesus?
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the
What?
source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim.
What if you're a
even
vegetable?
threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation
Defeated
made
all
Kyle
those
too
Wonder Woman,
powerful.
Parallax,
Struggled to
Amazo.
control it,
I
and it
didn't get the other
subconsciously
one.
manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's
Uh-oh.
greatest weakness was still himself.
It's
Kyle
teeth.
spent his
I've
whole
got
life
too many
struggling
teeth.
with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle
Yeah.
split the life equation into pieces.
Spread
to
the hurt-
found his
I mean the
second
joy.
core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey. Only endless beginnings.
I mean, having a mentor doesn't hurt, you know, just because you don't actually have one doesn't mean you...
No? Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime.
What?
We've got a solution. It's our own website. That's www.deathbattle.gg.
Here we go.
It's like our own private Patreon, with a store for Death Battle merch and a complete Death Battle video archive. It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg.
Why is YouTube banning and blocking and censoring these episodes? There's literally no reason to.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data.
But cool website. That hopefully that'll make them some more money.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Okay, here we go. Just started off. All right.
Hey, dude. Green Lantern Officer Kyle Raynar here.
Why is he green?
He says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Officer. Balrog. Yes. Okay, I immediately love this episode. Immediately. Thank you. It's a full hand-drawn episode. Yeah, it looks good.
I'm told I'm bad.
So he got a dragon. Is that Shinron?
Tell me about it. 4.
Oh! Not that he's actually feeling. His head's just chasing him through space.
Nothing. My drill will pierce the heavens.
That's right, damn it. Pierce the heavens. Who the hell does he think he is? Yeah. I hope he says that. He's got to say that. Okay, now he's white. Is that Superman with the sword and shield? A sword and shield?
We do the impossible. See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
That's cool.
If you ain't know,
now you know.
That was cool lines. I like that. I love stuff like that. Talking about how they're gonna whoop your ass. How they do impossible shit.
I'm Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down.
That's right, damn it. Metaphor for life right there, kiddos. Somebody tells you you can't do something.
Stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Dope. There we go.
Super Tekken Sopa Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Break!
Jesus. Been kind of one-sided here for a bit. The flip? Only drill versus drill. It's like somebody picking the same character as you in Street Fighter. Fuck that guy.
the super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
This bodes unwell for Simone. Grit those teeth. Who the hell? That was a cool line from Gurren Lagann.
You'd make a good lantern.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
That's right, damn it. I got spoiled on this yesterday by one of my
When
viewers.
both combatants possessed unlimited power, it's hard to judge them
But,
by our normal
you know,
standards.
not gonna say who it
Speed.
was, but-
Simone can hit an infinite number of targets.
Just
all
be
at
careful with
once,
spoilers.
And Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable.
When you're a
to
kid,
beings
you
as
don't
absurd
know.
as
You know,
Simone
you
and
just mess
Kyle.
up, and
Their
it's okay.
imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
Lots of kids
First up,
watch my channel and my
imagination.
reactions and stuff.
The boundless things they could conjure to use against the
I
other.
get that.
Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles.
What does
It's
bother
likely
me
Kyle
is
could
that
adapt, considering his ring could protect against
Death
existence
Battle
being erased
or
across
the mods
multiverse.
of Death
And in
Battle
general, Kyle's
blocked him
constructs were a lot more
because of
creative
some
than Simone's
spoilers.
arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone
And that kinda
couldn't
pisses me
adapt to
off.
with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination
I don't think
is
you
a
should
draw.
block
That
people
leaves
for,
the other
you know,
main factor for both characters,
accidentally
the origin of their
spoiling something.
unbelievable might,
Now, if you're doing it on
their
purpose, yeah.
willpower.
And that's
Time to
really
get out.
gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower.
Yeah, I would say that
but we can use
Simone has a lot more
dimensions to
willpower
roughly
than
calculate a difference. This might sound absurd
Kyle
for
Raynar.
most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one
What's
below
that?
it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower
Mr.
was
Game and
stronger
Watch?
at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both
me.
of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker
So
doesn't
that
mean
makes-
heal stay that way.
That makes
Absorbing
him
the multiverse
able to beat
labyrinth
anybody.
required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without
Wow.
the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate
Still ain't got
for at
that
least a week
problem taken care
straight,
of, huh?
Like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even
Lex
the odds.
Luthor.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Next time
Dead
on
ringer.
Death Battle.
Wow. Wait, what? Tom and Jerry versus Looney Tunes?
Subscribe and
Oh,
join-
shit. I hope they get the Wile E. Coyote version that talks. The one that's like super genius. Because I will laugh my ass off. I will die. I will laugh so hard. Well, really, I don't know what else I can say about this death battle other than it was really good. Lots of things that, honestly, I'd have to watch again to understand. About 11 dimensions and 11 herbs and spices, you know, the KFC recipe. But yeah, pretty cool episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. Going to be streaming tonight, streaming some Doom. We're getting pretty close to the end, the Dark Ages. Getting very close to the end. Winner of the Tournament of Champions 2023 match is now happening. Okay, cool. But thank you guys for coming by. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate you coming by, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys have fun the rest of your day. And yeah, next time, Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat. I hope there's a lot of like mishaps and pain like usual in their cartoons. I'll see you guys later.